and I bought shoes just to prevent that. And
You training for a marathon though.
yeah, the half marathon,
Yeah.
but still, like
Nah,
I
can't
don't
do
know,
that shit. Fuck that.
I wasn't ready for it. And the
Um,
thing is, like, I kind of want to like reschedule because I don't want to run for like no reason, like completely no reason.
exactly.
I want to do it for like a like cancer, like run for some
Now you talking.
like something else, like
That
do it
make
for actual
that makes more sense.
yeah for
See, like,
actual purpose of running, but
see, like this marathon right here that you're doing, y'all invite. Say no. What's the point of it?
like it's no absolutely
Yeah.
no point other than for
Touch
me
yourself. No,
for
no,
yeah
I ain't got
yeah
no reason to touch myself physically anymore
honestly
at
yeah
all. No offense, like, that's just me. I mean, I might in the weight room, in the weights, maybe yeah. That's what,
yeah get
I'll run.
get stronger
I'll go back and run sprints. Now, I
yeah
would definitely go back and run sprints, but 13.4, 13.3,
13.1
13.1.
thing yeah 13.1
No,
see
yeah,
it,
no, that
like
shit, no, fuck that.
yeah
That got me fucked up.
and I'm not big on running at all like
Exactly.
I was like
I'm a short-winded person.
so
I ain't gonna lie.
you talk about you me
No,
bro
I talk a lot, but look, when it comes to running involve my whole body. Talking is
yeah
involve my mouth. That's it.
yeah true
Is
but, like,
exactly.
still bro
See, no, you be training though, so you should be up there.
yeah
Kind of.
like when I first started it's like I ran 3 miles.
Mm.
So, bro, 3 miles, I was dead. I think you probably remember me coming home,
Yeah.
but I went straight to the breathing treatment. I was like, I'm dead. And I took a shower, went straight to sleep. Like is not it. Then I started running a little bit more, and now I can run like a good 7 miles, and like I feel good, and I won't be dead afterwards.
Mm.
So like my body like conditioned itself to like run a farther distance.
It just takes a couple times to break it in. I guess.
Yeah,
That's all was the gym. I ain't gonna lie.
get your body in the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first couple times was easy. Well, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I take it back. Yeah, no, it wasn't easy. I ain't gonna cap. I went 6 months without lifting. Yeah, so that shit was no.
Bro, I need to get back
Uh,
into a routine of lifting because I've been out of a routine completely. Like I probably go like once or twice a week now. I need to go like on my off days when I have like no class. But
do like full body workouts and stuff.
yeah,
No. Bro, I never thought I'd do like a podcast about dating, man, at all.
dating,
I
bro.
tell you this. No, I already told you that, right?
Yeah,
I used to think this shit was corny. This shit we're about to talk about, I used to think this shit was corny as fuck.
you said the stuff you was talking about.
Yeah, no, like right now, we're about to talk about right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
nah, we gonna I'm gonna make it interesting.
No, I mean, of course it's
We
gonna
gonna
be
make-
interesting.
because
Of course it's gonna be interesting. I ain't saying it wasn't gonna be
It says
interesting.
me corny, but
I say like I'm just saying like
yeah,
at first like
I like talking about shit like that. But
I'm getting used to it. I guess.
yeah, because like
Um,
relationship is more than trying to find a
talk
mate.
about it ain't a relationship. It's all separating the categories.
Yeah,
Eh.
it could be like a friend relationship, work relationship. It's just like you can talk. So it's such a broad topic. You could,
And I'll define in my mind. I define relationship as
romantic relationship.
yes. Then like friend is like they just words. Like that's this is me.
Hmm.
Connotation I put with the words. Like I don't think like oh it's my relationship with my family. It's my family. Like,
Hmm. Yeah,
dynamics I guess. I don't know. I'd rather say dynamics.
family
That's
dynamic. Yeah,
That's probably because I'm a communication major and shit. So like that's me.
yeah,
Like
but like I don't know, like relationships, like especially like now we're in our 20s. I don't think like you should be focused on like a relationship. You should kind of use the time to explore or whatever, and trying to kind of get a feel for it. Because when I see people who getting like married and see people having kids, I'm like, it's kind of mind blowing to me. Because like we just now starting off life as it is, and to think you're gonna unless you just find that person, which is like good if you find that person and find somebody that you can connect with and that you like have good chemistry with. But like at least for me right now, I think it'd be kind of hard for me to get in a relationship because I'm still establishing myself, still like improving myself, working on the shit that I'm bad at and stuff. And I feel like that's like it's not only me. I feel like it's a lot of people like in their early 20s that you just like growing, you just exploring, you just not
Yeah.
graduating college, you being more independent. So it's like we have two people who are. I think I view it as very like hard as two people to grow together and stay together in a way. I don't think it's like very likely for it to happen because you
Mm,
you might grow apart and you still growing, you still finding out yourself, still learning yourself
I
more or
mean,
less.
that's just part of it, then I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say like duck it, like like me.
Uh,
I wouldn't say start ducking it, but like I'm not even really ducking it. It's just like, I'm out the game.
yeah,
Just
the game like you're not ready.
yeah,
Like
I'm not even on the sideline.
he
I'm
said, he said
nigga in the stands,
bleachers.
spectating,
Watch it.
getting some concession stands, getting some
Yeah,
snacks and shit.
like for me, I enjoy. Um, I'm not looking for so to say like girlfriend or whatever. I'm looking. I like talking to the opposite sex because women have such a different perspective on life and the like world than a lot of like men do. Like so, I could talk to like one of my guy friends and it could be like a masculine, super testosterone filled conversation, and you know it's like unless you have like close friends where you could talk like sensitive stuff with, but they have just like different views and different interests than like guys do. And it's
Hmm.
interesting getting like their perspective on something.
Well, nigga, it's me. I talk to anybody. You
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
like so, but I mean, we come. I guess I'm really selective and really like. I, I don't want to say like boundary wise, but I say like boundary, but like when it comes to like certain relationships, I guess you know what I mean.
Like who you let in.
Like yeah, well, a little more now, I guess. Well, a lot of more now. Hell yeah, a lot more now.
Yeah.
But not even like who I let in, but like that's a specific one. Like I say, like my family relationship is way different from like a friend relationship, of
Mm.
course, obviously. And then like my relationship, like I said, and then like my close friends, my inner circle, and then outer circle,
Mm.
like inner outer circle, and then outer circle, and then just kind of broad spectrum of people I'm acquainted with. It's different.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Like
And
me,
then
I've been limiting like my relationships. I've been kind of like trying to fly like solo, so it's like so to say, been trying to like work on like shit that I did like last year that I messed up. Like shit, I'm just trying to improve on my like past, I guess, what like my past mess ups. So I haven't really been like, oh, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that type of shit. Like I hit people up or like on Snapchat if I see something like something funny or something, I'll slide up or whatever. But I haven't really been big into keeping in touch with people, I should say.
mm,
But I don't know. That's just me. Cause I don't like if
maybe
you
keeping in touch like on the regular, I guess. Like on
uh
like an everyday thing, or just kind of like hitting people up like every now and then.
like every now and then, even every now and then. So I like some people I'll probably hit up probably once every like 4 months or so.
Mm,
Like I don't hear for you in a while, and I'm not on social media super heavy, so I really don't know what's happening like in other people's lives unless I ask them or unless I take the time out of my day to actually go look and see what they're doing. But a lot of times I'm just not really. I wouldn't say interested in other people's lives. I'm just not that invested in other people's lives
mm,
because I don't want to say I assume people are doing good unless I hear. I guess I can say that. I assume people are doing good unless I hear something bad about them.
mm,
So it's a select few people like I can hit up and I can hit up randomly and I'd be cool with them. Then it's like other people that relationship's not really that strong to where I can hit them up and like be cool. I kind of had to invest time into like build a connection with them, I guess.
mm.
But yeah.
So for me with social media, like I'm on like social media a lot because, especially with the podcast and everything, like having to like posting more, yeah, posting everything. It's like I'm
Hmm.
always having to like constantly delete it and then re-download it. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, cause
And so
you had something to actually put on. You have a reason to be on social media because you're trying
exactly,
to get your stuff out there and trying to get viewers and stuff like that.
But like I'm never on social media when like I'm not on it. Like unless I have it downloaded, I'm not on it. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I can go a while without having it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And like but now like I said, I need it. You know for what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I said, I think that's why like a lot of times I find myself like in that cycle of just going on social media a lot because I just like it's always on my phone. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, for me, just like if it's like it's there, it's just like I get in that cycle. It's like damn, but like now I need to like I need it to post continuously, keep posting stuff and like kind of keep stuff out there.
Yeah, to grow your business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like it's catch for me. It's catch 22. You know.
Yeah.
And then like
You can't really avoid it too much because you gotta be on it to do what you need to do. Rather than me, I can avoid social media for an extended amount of time. I don't have to be on social media at all because I don't have to post anything or anything like that. So I don't have anything to I don't have anything invested in social media, I should say.
And I've been self isolated for so damn long too.
Yeah.
It's like I'm too used to it now, and like I want like trying to break out of it now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, dang, how the fuck? Like I got too comfortable with it, you know.
What do you mean
And-
by comfortable? Like,
Oh, like comfortable with being like alone, like by myself. But
Oh,
at the same
yeah,
time,
yeah.
it's like that part of me is like extroverted as shit. You know. And
Yeah.
so it's
trying
like,
to get yourself to
like, go back
yeah,
out in the world. It's
yeah.
like, sometimes like
you don't feel like
you
you
don't
like
feel like it,
not
you
in the
know.
mood to
You know.
deal with people.
I don't even know how to meet people anymore. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, I guess I'm like rolling, kind of trying to like, I guess roll with it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in a way. Kind of like, if I'm feeling like this, I might as well just kind of roll with it and try to focus on what I can focus on. But then like I said, like those little distractions get in the way,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like social media and shit, just random little shit. So
Yeah, like for me, I like meeting new people, and like I enjoy like connecting with people, talking to people, like hearing other people's like perspectives and stories. But a lot of times, like I like chilling alone. Like I can be in my room by myself for like the next month and won't have to talk to anybody else but like the people I'm like super close with, and I'll be fine. And I don't have to make any new connections or anything like that. But the I also enjoy like making new connections, like meeting new people, because kind of broadens your perspective on some things, and you meet cool people. But
but naturally, you're not as social a person as I am, though.
no, I am not
Exactly.
at all.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
I don't. I'm not a conversation initiator. I should say. I don't initiate conversation. I don't necessarily. A lot of times I don't speak unless spoken to. Unless it's like I just feel like that push to speak.
See, that's where I'm at now. Like, I'm not as much. I can initiate,
Hmm.
but like I just don't as much anymore.
Yeah.
I guess. You know.
Like even like you know, like I come in the house, I say like "What's up?" Then I'm in my room, like chilling,
Yeah, exactly.
like
not
chilling,
doing anything.
yeah, chilling, doing whatever, and like I'm just not like super, like I don't.
Yeah, I come in. I come talk about. Good
Yeah,
20
you talk about
20
whatever, like,
Like get 20 minutes about anything. So keep talking.
and like I enjoy, I love conversation, but I just don't have that urge a lot of times just to push a conversation in a way. But I love having conversations with anybody about anything, because like you never know what you can learn or what you might hear, something that might like push like an idea in your head or something. You, like it's a lot. I love conversation though, but a lot of times I don't initiate it.
I do too. But it's like now I just kind of like.
It's like I don't
I
feel.
don't know, it just fell off like hard. Like I don't know what the fuck happened. It's like damn, how the fuck do I used to
Like for me, like I just
talk to people and shit? Like
it's me. I was like sometimes I just don't have that like energy just to communicate with people, and sometimes I just be like
how did I transition conversations and shit like without seeming like taking up a lot of space and like I take up conversation space.
Mm-hmm.
I take up a lot of air in conversations. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I can, and like that's one thing I tried. Like I guess I'm working on this. I guess being quiet
And
or
like
listening.
listening, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been working on that. I'm more of like like just having like studied all this shit. Like I'm like just learning how like depending on who I'm talking to,
Mm-hmm.
and like I have like different ways of talking to them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
especially like I guess when it comes to like eye contact and stuff like that. Like certain people I won't make as much eye contact with. Might not to them might not seem like I'm listening. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm listening. This is just like
Unless
one
I'm
of
just
the,
not, I'm
this
not,
is like always one of the ways I'm like just right now. This is how
I'm
this is
not
how I'm
looking at
listening.
you. Or
Yeah,
whatever, yeah.
like I'm just really selective with it. So I guess
See, a lot of people like that. They think because you're not looking at them, you're not listening to them.
so. Yeah, a lot of things yeah could just kind of come across kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And like I guess it's like like I said, it's people's expectations or my expectation of people having expectations. You know,
Mm-hmm.
of how like people communicate. So I
A
don't
lot,
know.
a lot of times, like if you're not like looking at a person, they don't think you're like interested or invested in the conversation.
Mm,
Like say like for me, a lot of times like I be in a like middle of a conversation and like something weird happened over here, and I get distracted, and like that person may think like, oh, he's not invested in this. He don't want to hear this conversation anymore. He's bored with the conversation,
mm.
but it's not. That's not necessarily true. I'm just like
See, that's
I'm over
me.
here.
That's me. Like, if you're not
Yeah.
looking at me, like, it depends. Like I said, it depends on who I'm talking to and like what the context is. Like, if you're not looking at me, some situation, I'm like, yeah, they ain't listening to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then like take it back on the other side. It's like like if I'm listening, if there's somebody's talking to me, like I hear everything. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like I'm just hearing everything that's going on in the room. So it's like yeah, I heard you. I heard you. No, I know exactly what you said.
You just
I'm
hear
still
everything
listening.
else around
Yeah,
you.
but then like on vice versa, like I'm the kind of person that's like if someone's like not looking at me or doing something else, or
Mm-hmm.
someone's attention is occupied, or I
Yeah.
know your attention's occupied, or something
Yeah,
else.
see, you better than I am. So a lot of times, like I have to ask people to repeat what they said because I get like distracted and I be like hyper focused on something else, and I wouldn't want to hear anything you're saying. So like with me, if I'm in like a I don't want to say intimate conversation, but like a more deeper conversation, more meaningful conversation, I will have my focus on you. Like I'm gonna look you in your face and process everything you're saying, because that's just how I have to. That's how I process what's being said and how you're saying it. And then I read like your body language. That's just me like listening
Mm,
like deeper than what your words are saying to me. In a way.
mm. So I don't really like. Mm, I don't read body language like too hard. Like really, that's really kind of like whether or not I think somebody's like actually listening.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's just me though.
Like I like also I do like if I'm like listening like deep into somebody, I do kind of like a cycle. So I look at your eyes, and I go to your like I go down, and I come back up. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at your like where your feet are pointed, if your arms are crossed, if your legs are crossed, if you're tapping your foot, if you fiddling with your hands. This is like random shit, like random stuff, like some people probably won't even notice. And that's just how I read people, so I get like a deeper understanding and how I can process and fully understand what they're saying.
Mm. All right, I guess. And some people have different ways. Let's know how you communicate, how you listen to people. Like what you like. Do you read people? Do you like or how you talk? Do you like look people in the eyes? Do you look away when you talk? Do you look away when you listen?
Yeah.
Like you're quote multitasker, I guess.
Hmm.
Cause ain't no way multitasking, but I feel like you can't multitask. But
Yeah. Some people can. I believe some people can multitask. I'm not really one of those people that's like strong with multitasking. Cause I like
nah.
I had to focus hard on like something to like fully process it.
So, sometimes that's the thing. Dating is multitasking at times. That's the thing.
You said
Sometimes
they
it can't be multitasking.
yeah.
You know, I'm not a good multitasker. In certain situations, like I said, that situation, like, damn, hell no.
Hmm.
My focus be everywhere. My energy and no, when it's all dispersed, it's just it's nah. It doesn't work like that.
Hmm.
Like I said, you got me watching. Like I said, I never thought I'd be talking like I'm like trying to like kind of get to on that topic. Like
Yeah.
with the because you put me on the enjoy the podcast.
Bro, they're so
Wait, how did you
good,
find that podcast
bro.
anyway?
So I started off. I watched Shannon Boodram. She's a sexologist, like a psychologist, and she's an author. And she, all like everything she talked about, kind of like interested me because she like talk about like she go into deeper into like sex education and like relationships. So it's like kind of it's interesting to me because I never heard anybody talk that deep about.
Is that like a professional sex
Yeah,
teacher basically? That's a professional sex ed teacher basically.
yeah, and
Uh,
that's so I found an interest.
Sexologist,
Yeah, I found interest in it.
like the bartender of sex, I
Yeah, I found
guess.
interest. Yeah, I found I found interest in it in like all the stuff she was talking about, and she was more of a. She's more of a. She was kind of on the side of like women. She was more talking to like women when she when I watched her YouTube videos and like read her book. Then she got married with Jared, and Jared is like he's not a specialist, but what he talks about is like interesting and it's like a more of a male perspective. So
Like consultant, kind of like a.
yeah, he
Kind of like I'm about to say. Remember we were Kevin Samuels and shit,
mm,
and cause like Kevin Samuels used to do the same shit, like kind of. Like, that's
mm,
the first kind of thing I'd say. I guess I watched when it came to like talking about like I guess like dating, but he was like it was different because a lot of shit he said was just fucked up.
yeah,
Like, he
care,
did not care
he didn't
about
care at
like
all what he was saying.
it's just like
He
this
didn't
is
care what
this,
other people thought. He just say what he say he wanted to say.
I was like, there's a couple times where he actually helped some girls, you know what I
Mm,
mean? And like, but then there's other times it's like this is just for entertainment purposes. Like I can tell.
mm,
He's like, but he's actually roasting on him, so he's kind of fucked up for that. But like he started off like I said, he started off like doing what Jared does, I guess, like as a male consultant, I guess, on like how to
mm,
guess grow themselves organically, I guess.
mm,
And that's how he started off. But then, like he said, he didn't get big till he started doing like the podcast with the women calling in and everything, asking him about like why they can't get a man, why they have trouble dating and stuff.
See, dating is only hard if you. I don't want to say it's only hard if you make it hard, but dating requires a lot of inward like you gotta look in and kind of fix what you got going on for you to connect with another person on a deeper level. Because if you have issues of your own and you're trying to connect with somebody, you're bringing those issues to that person, and that person can either bring those issues out of you and make those issues like worse, or they can help you improve on the issues. But I believe a person can't fully fix issues that's happen internally with another person. So like you even see it like now in our generation, like a lot of trauma, even as like younger relationships. Like we're like 22 and like we're still young, but some people have trauma from past relationships in like high school and whatever, or family relationships that makes it hard for them to connect with another person or trust another person on a deeper level. And so if you don't acknowledge the trauma, or like everybody has different traumas, like it's no uh, I wouldn't say it's no worse trauma. It's not necessarily worse trauma. Nobody's trauma is less than somebody else's. Like everybody's trauma is significant to them. So you gotta like when you're trying to date and trying to connect with a person, you gotta find what your trauma has, or what your trauma is, and kind of acknowledge it. You don't necessarily have to fix it, but you gotta acknowledge it. Once you acknowledge it, you can work towards fixing it. And I feel like that's the problem. That's like the main problem with like relationships or people trying to get in relationships. You have trauma that that you're ignoring. You're pushing this aside, and you're not even going to acknowledge your trauma. And now you're trying to connect with another person with this trauma that you haven't acknowledged, and you wondering why the relationship is not going how it's not progressing or getting better. It's because you haven't bettered yourself in a way.
Mm.
So like like even me now, like I've been saying about like trying to work on my problems, trying to grow on stuff I like did last year or the year before last, and trying to just kind of improve myself. And that's why I've been at. So I've been exploring, uh, exploring kind of talking around, doing me and trying to focus on myself and trying to better myself. Because I feel like I have to do that before I can get into a serious relationship. I have
Mm.
to completely acknowledge my past traumas or my past struggles or problems that I have, because I don't want to bring that to another person. And now we both have the problem because we're in a partnership, and now we both struggling with something I was supposed to try to fix or try to acknowledge before I came into this relationship or partnership with another person. So I feel like that's like the main problem with a lot of relationships now, and also like people just being blind in love and not seeing a person for who they really are. If a person shows you who they are, you believe them. Like
Mm.
a lot of like I see it in a lot of ladies. They like their man like doing wrong, cheat or whatever, and they don't want to acknowledge like that they are cheater. Like he cheated on you.
Shit,
He's a
no,
cheat.
I mean, shit. I ain't even. I would say just like ladies. I mean, I can speak for myself actually with that shit too.
Yeah,
You know, actually, I was like thinking about it as you were
it
saying that.
happens both on both
Yeah.
sides.
As,
Yeah.
as you were saying that, I was thinking about like, well, damn, I got like the past traumas I gotta get through and shit.
Mm.
Like especially just like getting like I guess even played just like as a friend. I guess you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And it's like, damn, like I wouldn't even like that's one thing like I said with like even they were talking about on the podcast like when it comes to like fine women.
Mhm.
Like there's always that question of like as a guy you always gonna kind of question, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like, but at the same time, like as me being me, if it's not there, it's not there. You know what I mean? We can
Mhm.
still be
Like
cool.
the connection.
You know, but like I don't know. I guess I've had like I've had so many weird ass situations. It's
Yeah,
like
I feel like
I've had a weird. Some of the, like I said, some of the shit I swear this ain't normal, bro.
does it happen to everybody?
This shit ain't. I was like, man, like I just let me back up. Let me back up and just kind of like I said, focus on me for a little bit.
Mhm.
I said, what's one of my biggest issues? I guess I get bored easily too.
Mhm.
I do get bored pretty easily.
Me,
And
I get bored with like conversation easily. Like if you can't keep a conversation, you're not good at keeping a conversation flowing. You're not like interesting. You're not deeper than surface level. Like I'm gonna get bored within like a couple hours, a day at most. Like if you're just like surface level, if you can't if you can't open up and be deeper than what I can see on the outside, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
So that's where I get bored at. That's why like I don't try to force connections. I don't try to force communications. I don't try to like force like conversations. Like
I don't anymore. See, like yeah, I learned like you can't do that really.
mm,
I was like that's one thing. I like shit. I like shit to grow organically. You know
yeah,
what I
because
mean?
it's draining if you
That,
put in all the work.
and that's like I said, that's why I feel like with like date, like how I feel about dating apps and shit. Like I deleted all
Yeah.
my shit, and it's like because I feel like this shit's just not as organic as just kind of meeting somebody. You know what I mean?
uh,
And I guess that I just had the bad. I've had better experiences just meeting people straight up and just letting it go, starting off as friends and just letting it go from
Because
there. You know what
you
I
can
mean?
actually read people in person
Yeah.
rather than reading a text message. You can't see what somebody's facial expression in a text message. You can't necessarily
I can't feel I can't get your vibe. I can't
yeah
get your vibe. You know what I mean?
can't feed off their energy or anything like that through text or
So
call or whatever.
yeah, that's why I'm like, just it's not the. I guess one part of it again is that like just I haven't been out as much because I just haven't had as much to do.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I said, again, like I get bored easily. So I mean, yeah, like I said, it just like I said, I'm part of staying busy, but then another part of me hyper focusing on shit. So yeah, it's certain shit like I'm working on. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, like I said, it's also a good time for me to like I said, focus on the shit that I need to focus on and shit.
Hmm.
But like at the same time, like as a human being, man,
You crave
we
that
all
connection, yeah,
exactly we
yeah,
all crave
most definitely.
that connection. So, but yeah, that's just.
So,
But it's interesting, like I said, watching the podcast and like actually hearing like from guy's perspective in a safe. I hate saying like safe space. It's a safe space. Like no, like just like an actual, excuse me, but actual cool perspective where it's not like it's not too much. That's why I used to call this shit corny. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the podcasts like that used to be about like dating, like or like guys calling like talking about like alpha males, beta males. Like a lot of this shit's
Yeah.
just like
It's
a lot
like
of shit's
that.
stupid. A lot of shit's just stupid. You know what I mean? That's why I
Yeah.
used to call this shit like it was kind of corny. But when I started watching Enjoy the podcast, that's when I was like, okay, like this is cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, this is
They make,
chill. This is
they
like
make
these
it
people like
interesting.
actually having a like a conversation about like
Mm.
stuff and actually opening up about shit they've been through.
And some
And
of the stuff they've been through, it'd be funny. Like, oh, that's like,
it's funny. It's funny, and they sit there and laugh about it. But then they
yeah,
can really kind of like sort. They're like, oh damn, you know, like maybe that's why like I do so and so. Maybe that's why so and so does so and so.
mm-hmm.
You know, maybe that's why just kind of like figuring out
You kind of relate.
themselves.
Yeah.
A lot more. Like I said, relating to each other. You know what I mean? Because they have such good chemistry with each other and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So that's one part of it, I guess. But yeah, I remember I told you like on the other podcast with Afrin. That was the first kind of I guess like quote unquote dating podcast I
Mm-hmm.
did. But no when she asked like why don't guys like to open up as much, you know?
Oh
And
yeah, this
and you
that's
said like
that's
short
a,
answer was like just trauma, like past trauma.
in society. It's the male's supposed to be, oh, I can fix everything. I can do this. I can do that. Like no one wants to hear no. If you want to be honest, no one wants to hear a male bitch about their problems, and
Mm,
that's the like that's society. No one, the male, like from a society perspective, no one, male is not supposed to bitch about their problems. Not supposed to like complain about whatever. Like you don't want to hear a dude's feelings. Like that's as fucked up as it sounds. That's like how we've been groomed.
mm-hmm.
But that's horrible because you keep all your thoughts, all your feelings inside, and you're not like if you keep them inside, nobody can help you with your internal battle, but you. And yeah, it's just like trauma. Like people don't want to the male to, like it's hard for a male to be vulnerable. Like we don't want to open up and expose ourselves, be looked at as weak, and so a lot of times a lot of males just don't open up, don't say what they're really thinking, or just don't just like don't talk about their problems or feelings
Mm-hmm.
as much as a woman would. So it's like it's a struggle, but I for me I've learned to open up with anybody because you never know how you can touch somebody with something you went through and some problems that you're going through. Like it's because it's a lot of people that's going through the same shit, and so like once you talk about it, it opens up that space for somebody else to talk about it, and like after you get that off your chest, you talk about it with somebody, kind of chop it up, it makes you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if y'all like talking, you get a different perspective, and it helps you improve on yourself. So it's like it's horrible that that's how kind of how society
That's why like men,
expect men to be
that's
like
why men be having strokes and heart attacks
you
in
be
their fifties
stressed
and
out,
shit. High blood pressure in
be
their
stressed
50s and
out
shit.
for sure. But yeah, like I definitely been working on trying to be more open and more transparent with like stuff I be going through. Like, I don't be trying to make myself look bigger than what I am or try to put on a fake face. I'll try to be transparent as I can with everything I'm going through.
Mm-hmm.
Like uh, it was a week ago. I was talking to one of my homies at PV, and I was talking about just like how bad I am with like money and how I've been struggling and how I have like because it's before it was like 2 weeks ago. I was like I don't know how if I pay rent at the end of the month it's gonna be a miracle, and so I was like stuff like even small stuff like that. Like if you open up like it's like bro I'm broke like I don't got money like I'm going through these classes I'm struggling like I don't got money
Mm-hmm.
like even like small stuff like that like opens the table to have a like genuine conversation and
I done ran through that shit, man. Past year, man, I ran through money like no other, bro.
yeah so it's
For no
like
damn reason.
see it's
It's like
we,
fuck. I
a
didn't
lot of
even.
times you don't think it's a lot of shit that you're going through is like relatable or somebody else is going through it, but a lot of times some people are going through the same shit. Some people right next to you are going through the same shit. The person that looks like they're doing perfect is going through the same shit you are probably, and you just gotta unless you uh, give them that invitation and just open it up to where you can just talk about it and whatever. Be vulnerable, transparent, be real.
Mm.
It, it's like
I feel
it,
like it's part of the other part of, like me not stepping out of the house anymore is because like every time I step out of the house, nigga, I spend some money. I come
no
up on
cap,
some money.
no cap.
Every time I leave the house, I come up on some kind of money, bro. Like, it's
Yeah,
like fuck. You can't. I can't just like. You can't go anywhere and not spend money anymore. Like it's
mm-hmm.
like anywhere at all. Like you try to go to work a little bit and then no
You be out, you get hungry,
something
like
you
hey,
hungry. Then
something.
like you want to get home and like thinking about just time. You got all the time, but like that money and it's like you just make yourself more stressed out and everything. But
Yeah,
that's when you just try to meditate and try to realize you really don't have that many problems and shit.
because
Honestly,
it could always be
it can always
worse.
be worse.
Somebody probably is going through something way worse.
And a lot of problems we deal with are trivial or we can handle ourselves and shit.
Because a lot of us are blessed to be in a position that we actually are in now,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we forget that because some of these like small battles that we're going through, trying to conquer our goals or trying to
Every day getting up.
yeah,
Shit.
it's
That's
just
half the battle right there.
yeah.
I barely did that today. It was raining. It was raining. It was cold.
Oh yeah, it was a nice day to
It
sleep
did
in.
stop raining. I don't even think it's. It might
I
have
think it
stopped
might
raining.
be still sprinkling now.
But yeah,
Like,
no, I was like, man, it was horrible. Like I was
tough
no,
to get up
actually, it
and
wasn't
do
even
something.
horrible. I took about three good naps or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. I think I was going to tell you about I was going to talk about the other side, like the bad side of the date. You think like a lot of, I ain't gonna tell you this. How am I gonna say this? Just cause that video I showed you about that girl that was having that present for that guy that
Oh
she was
yeah,
talking to,
yeah, yeah.
and then the other girl came was made a TikTok about it about her being like a pygmy or whatever.
Yeah, explain.
And
Kind of
then,
explain the situation.
so this girl was talking about how she she been talking to this guy for a couple days or whatever, and she picked up they like cigars, and so her dad has cigar like smoking cigars, and so she wanted to kind of give him a little gift. So her mom had
Yeah,
like
it's like their first date.
yeah first date kind of thing. So like she had like a little brown paper bag and like some twine, and she put the cigar in that and a little cigar clipper.
Just a
And
small little
yeah,
gift.
small little gift, and it looked nice and everything, and so it just looked like someone actually put some thought into it. You know what I mean?
Very thoughtful.
And but really, it's just kind of it's really effortless. But you want to do something nice for somebody,
Yeah, yeah.
you know? And so this other girl made like a TikTok about it, talking about it. And first of all, a lot of how do I say this? I don't want to say women. I like to distinguish between like who I'm talking about because there's women, there's girls. You know, when it comes to mindset, especially
Yeah.
there's birds. You know, so, yeah, there's a lot of birds out there. All right, we'll say that. That I guess will take that and put their own spin on it. So first of all, if you see a bird talking slowly, all right, like just because they're talking slowly and in a low, calm voice does not mean they know what they're talking about. First of all right. And basically, this girl started talking about it, and she said that the girl that's giving the gift is giving off pick me vibes.
Yeah, it's very ignorant perspective.
Like she's being desperate, like she's trying to do too much or anything. Because men don't respond well to that kind of nurturing that early, and it's like that's actually one thing I was thinking about is how like
Kind of toxic.
it's toxic, and she talked about how she's going on about how like that from her past experience, like that relationship's not gonna last
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And I was like, well, man, it's your past experience. I'm sorry you mess with guys
It
that
didn't work out. Yeah.
don't know really know how to reciprocate things like that. You know, like some people don't.
That definitely goes back to the society. Like, man's supposed to be like hard and like super like masculine or whatever. Like that's her perspective. Like giving that gift is gonna make that man feel uncomfortable or whatever. But if I can probably speak for 95. I could probably speak for 95% of men. If you give them a gift, you're not gonna complain about that. Like it's nice that you got something. Like no, you don't have to give a person something, but somebody thinking of you, it's not gonna make you not dislike that person more,
Mm.
unless you just like dislike the person already. And that's another like that's another story.
Yeah,
Like,
no, like especially someone like just puts like the small, like just small little effort in. You know
yeah,
what I mean? But I think it goes back to
show your
everything
interest.
else. It goes back to everything else about like love languages and shit. Some
Hmm.
people aren't necessarily like you know acts of service or gift or receiving gifts kind of people. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's like you can't really generalize everybody. And that's why I say that's why I don't like to say like just I don't like generalize just women or just men in general. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because everybody's different. So. I said they could talk about everything on that podcast. Like I talk about everything on my podcast too and shit. But like when it comes to like in the realm of what the broad spectrum of what they talk about,
Hmm.
and when it comes to just relationships and dating, you know what I mean, and just life. Well, yeah, it's just more or less the same, but they go in depth about a lot of different things. They have a lot of different people on to go and
Hmm.
talk about a lot of different topics, and a lot of different things that you would never really would have thought that go into the aspects of dating. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, or just like your just everyday relationships and stuff.
It's very definitely informative and helps you.
It's informative. It's funny. It's go check it out.
Yeah,
Enjoy the
enjoy
podcast.
podcast. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pretty good podcast.
Shout out to you said Jared Brady,
Yeah, Jared Brady.
Los and JD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're a
they're good.
good
They're a good
squad.
trio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're a little bit older. So they
they have a different kind of perspective
yeah
on everything. You know what I mean? But a lot of times a lot of it's more or less the same.
yeah
A lot of
it's not anything that's uh disagreeable. And even on their podcast, they argue about like they have debates about random things, and so you can get a different perspective and different sides of whatever they're talking about.
mm,
So it's pretty good. I like it.
you think part of like date, like part of like not it being hard to find like a relationship, I guess nowadays, is that like a lot of people are kind of like traumatized or like bitter about like past situations and shit.
They just don't have that trust to don't know if you to invest your time or your trust into another person.
Mm,
So it's like that's like I would say that's probably a lot of people. Like, you just don't want to invest time and trust into another person.
mm,
You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to go through another heartbreak or whatever. But it's tough out here trying to
mm.
connect with people on a deeper level.
Yeah. A lot of people just like a lot like goes back. A lot of people are scared to be kind of vulnerable. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Didn't it go to like people being like bitter or anything? A lot of people just kind of scared to get hurt.
Hmm.
And like I said, it's just part of that's one thing. It's part of life. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's so bad now because I'll be trying to talk to like ladies and like
Well,
they don't think
'cause
your intentions are pure at all.
I was gonna say like because you have a different look on it. Cause going back to you having to drive to school
Hmm.
and then coming and living here
Hmm.
and living in kind of just two different kind of cultures and everything else. You
Yeah.
have a different perspective on just like different kinds of people.
Hmm.
Different kinds of like this is how you talk to people. It's different. You
Yeah,
already
so
know.
when I'm here and stuff, I kind of I try to be. I want to say like I'm always myself no matter where I go, but I'm more
You gotta be.
reserved. Yeah, I'm more reserved here. I don't go around talking to random people like, oh, what's up, yeah, yeah, all that, like when I'm here. But like when I'm at like PV, I'm surrounded by people that look like me and have like think like me. I'm not hesitant to start like conversation as I am if I was like here, because like sometimes it's hard to uh, connect on a deeper level with people who just just don't understand. Most of the time, just don't understand like your perspective on the world and how you view the world, how you view things that are happening within the world. And so it's definitely different vibes when I come here and I go back to PV and talk to people. But
So I guess like I said, for me, I guess it's just when I get out, cause like there's as a podcaster, like as me, just me being me, like I
mm,
just have a conversation with anybody about anything. Like I was having an ethics class,
mm,
and I was talking out loud with somebody about it at the coffee shop and whatever, and I just done these two ladies overheard, and we started having a conversation about just ethics when it comes to their culture and everything else,
mm,
because one of them was Jewish. And she even gave me the Hebrew translation of like my name and stuff, or our
mm,
name, excuse me. And but yeah, like I'm just like when it comes to that, like I just read certain people, like
mm,
like just certain people have that kind of like But like, it comes back to people like just knowing like your intent, like just questioning your intention. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like people get closing off, especially because like especially talking to like I said women, because like not all guys have bad intentions. Like some of it, like me, I just talk to people. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
like
but like,
conversation, and if it goes like I said, if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it don't, it don't. Like I said, you'll know. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
You'll know. And I guess I try not to be awkward and shit. You know.
I'm a goofy person at heart, so like sometimes when I'm like talking to people, I will say like a joke or something. I'd be like kind of like joking, won't be too serious about something. It'd be taking, it take like they go left with it, and that's like I think it's just certain people like just certain people act to certain things differently, and that's that's kind of I guess that's kind of why I'm hesitant like to like start conversations like when we talk about
Exactly, like people.
because like you don't know how people are going to perceive the way you say something to them.
That goes back to like just like I guess not caring what people really think.
Hmm.
You know, it's like, I don't know. You know, it's like it's a weird threshold. You know what I mean? Cause like it, yes, I don't know. You know, it's like it's hard to explain it. You know, cause like
Like
if you really
even
don't care about what people think, you just kind of be yourself in every regard. You know,
yeah,
and then like, but at the same time on like little levels, like just kind of I guess starting the conversation with somebody that you actually.
I like don't have sometimes just don't have the energy just
Mhm.
to even.
Sometimes, like I said, sometimes conversations just kind of start out of nowhere,
Hmm.
and like sometimes, like I guess, like you go up to somebody, you know, if you just make a first like or just say something, you're trying to start a conversation. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or even then, like you might just say something. You know what I mean? And they might hear you and say, huh, and then it might not be anything. You know, just conversations kind of start. You know,
Hmm.
and that's like for me personally, that's how I like. That's how the best conversations start. You know.
Yeah, just
Not having to
genuine.
like I guess like go find somebody to talk to. I guess you know just making eye contact and like just it's starting from just like a nod or a smile and then just like that's with anybody.
Yeah,
Just
how you doing today?
it
Like,
just happens
it's
a
like
simple conversation.
like small
It
stuff.
goes anywhere. You know what I mean?
Anything like super small. Like me, I was asked uh this couple weeks ago, and it's like we were talking about approaching women, and it's like I was like I don't really approach women. Like I would like come up. It's like I'll go up to a woman like how you doing or whatever, and I give you and it's like hi, I'm doing good, and I would like give them a compliment, and I'm going about my business because like a lot of times it's perceived as like I'm trying to like pursue you. A lot of times I'm I'm not really trying to pursue. I'm just trying to like start a conversation
Mm-hmm.
because like I don't want to start a conversation. Not even that I want to like talk to you on that like a deeper level. But a lot of times like it's not looked at as pure like. I think we have bad intentions. Like, oh, he's coming to talk to me. He gave me a compliment. He trying to fuck me or something. So it's
See
like,
me is horrible because random ass people come up to my ass.
yeah,
I mean like anybody come to my ass.
I don't think I'm like super approachable because a lot of people just don't approach me.
I guess I'm a very approachable person.
Like a
Like
lot of people just don't come up to me.
I had somebody in the club the other day. Like this dude tapped me out. Like what's up, bro? He's like, hey, bro. He's like, you by yourself, bro? I was like, yeah. I was like,
Well,
he's
you
like, hey,
asking?
bro. Like, I said, I lost my friends. I was like, damn. Like,
Like what you want me to
damn,
do,
what you want me to do about that? Like,
bro?
I'm like, see, like, bro, like, I guess I'm a very approachable ass person.
Yeah,
Like, just like, oh, this guy is cool to talk to. I guess, like, I mean, that's not a bad thing at
yeah.
all.
Just
But
not you're
like,
not looked at as threatening.
I'm not a threatening person, but at the same time, like, sometimes it's kind of like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, just like
like,
why? Why me?
I do have very, very interesting interactions with people.
Hmm.
A lot. And sometimes I make it interesting because I'm just like if I feel like it goes off the vibes. If I feel like I can just throw my shit in there,
Uh-huh.
and it's like hey, I'm throwing my shit in there when I can, like you
Hmm.
know, and especially if somebody bouncing off with me, it's like oh yeah, no, like
Yeah,
it's,
it's a
yeah,
good
it's
conversation.
good
Yeah.
conversation, it's good ass banter, and then like, but then like sometimes people come up to you. I don't know, it's different. Like if a girl comes up to you to talk to you,
Mm.
you already kind of have that in your mind that she's trying to talk to you a little bit. Sometimes.
Me,
It
depends on how she
depends. Well, it
approaches
depends
me.
on the situation.
Mm.
Depends on where you are. You know what I mean? Yeah, it kind of depends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like
So,
you can,
because I mean, some people are just friendly. You know what I mean? Yeah.
if she approached me
Like you out and about at the bar or some shit.
like
Like you know,
you
that's
can read body language. She's approached me and like kind of have like a bounce to like her approach, kind of like I don't even know how to explain it, but you can tell when somebody's like trying to hit on you, and for at least me, like I can tell when somebody's trying to hit on me or somebody's trying to start like just a conversation. They come more energetic and more like they're not like it's not uncomfortable, but they're more of like kind of like bouncy and like moving around rather than like feet plant and not moving
mm-hmm.
most of the time. So like that's just go back to me is like reading body language. Like if I feel like you're approaching me in like a different type of way, like your body language is saying something else,
Mm-hmm.
then, rather than what your words are saying, then I will take it as that. But that's how I like read people.
See,
Yeah.
I don't read a lot of that off rip.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, I guess I read it. It's kind of I don't really like.
Me, that I think it comes from me being just a people watcher. I would sit I would sit like on the side and just like watch people interact with other people.
I do especially now because like I've taken like psychology classes and communication classes.
Hmm.
Like just learning about like proximity and like just how people like when they're sitting, like how they're communicating, like how they might be communicating what they're doing just by their like body language and stuff.
Hmm.
That's why people watch a lot more now. But I guess like before even then, like people watch because people just do funny shit,
Hmm.
but they like wouldn't necessarily just like actually pinpoint what people do. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
And like kind of like I guess correlated to something else. I guess. Oh well, I never really did that until after I took classes and stuff about it.
I would really be interested in taking some of the classes like that because I feel like I kind of know what certain body language is, but it's probably other like body movements or body twitches that you probably talk about that are that I probably don't know, like never noticed or
Mm-hmm.
never thought of. But a lot of times I'm pretty good at reading body language for the most part.
So like just one thing I always know is like things like proxemics and everything, like
Mm-hmm.
and just like how close people stand to each other, like depending on like proxemics and then like I guess like body gestures, like arms folded, or
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes like or arms behind the back, arms to the side, hands in the pocket, like shoulders shrugged, shoulders like relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
foot stance, foot width, everything. It's
Yeah.
like you can read a lot of things about somebody, and
Then
then
like
like
what do you call it? I think it's I forgot the like actual technical term for it, but like the body movements that comes in waves. So like a person would do something like every couple of seconds they do something.
oh like involuntary movements.
Yeah, like involuntary movement.
Wait, was there like another name for it or something like that?
Yeah, it's a different name. I don't know like the technical name for it. Can't think of it right now.
You
But
said like body movements that come in wave.
yeah, body moves that go comes in waves. I know it's a technical term for it.
That's not waves. Longitudinal and transverse wave motions. What example of wave? Body wave. P waves, S waves, seismic waves,
Like it's body like
elastic
body.
equation of motion. I don't
so
know.
that
I'm
sound
looking
like
find.
that sound like some physics or science.
Exactly. I got a lot of shit on here. Body
Yeah.
wave. Three types of body waves. P, S, and surface waves.
Mm.
Uh,
But they're like involuntary movements, like kind of like twitches. I know because they
Involuntary.
use it when interrogating people. Like they see like you
Oh, like
like
somebody like who brushes their hair like across their face like every like couple seconds or something
yeah
like that.
stuff like that.
Um,
I forget what the name. It's a name for it.
Involuntary movements, dystonia, neurological disorder, tardive dis. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Essential tremor. Potential
Mm-hmm.
cause of involuntary movements. I don't think that not that involuntary, but like interrogation movements or that.
Yeah. body
Asian
signals, body something like that,
body language. Yeah.
body language slash movements,
Non-verbal communication.
nonverbal, yeah, nonverbal
Something like
communication.
that. Was that what it was?
Yeah, it's another name for
What type of
the
body
actual
language?
movements, like the movements that comes in way.
Dynamic movements or whatever. Involuntary. Many types of gestures, voice, space, pay attention, consistency. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Decoding behavioral anomalies.
Maybe.
Maybe
But yeah, I know. 'Cause I was watching some
interrogation.
cop, yeah, interrogation cop show whatever, and they're talking about how I think it was on YouTube how they read like body movements. It might have been a TED talk,
Mm.
but yeah, it's talking about how they read body movements and nonverbal. A lot of communication when they're talking to people is nonverbal rather than what they're saying.
I even like can get like with verbal, like especially verbal, like you can definitely tell like people octaves in their voice.
Like
Like even
high pitch or low pitch.
I was watching this one interrogation. This guy like he answered the question. He said no, but he answered the question with a question. He said the word no is a question because I think they asked him like they questioned what he was thinking,
Hmm.
and he said, "Well, do you think like there possibly could have been so and so?" He said, "No." Like kind of like so like they stopped it right there. He's like, so right here like he's like jumbling his words up like that with like different meaning because he's confused as shit because it's starting to hit him,
Hmm.
and so that he actually might not know what he saw. So and they're like, yeah, so certain shit like that, I guess.
Yeah, that could be like that can even be with like regular communication. Like you notice like things like that,
Mm-hmm.
like how high a pitch of somebody's voice is, or versus how they're talking to somebody else, how they're talking to you,
Mm-hmm.
and like the different tones or maybe a different calmness in the tone of their voice. But yeah, you can use that when you're talking to like anybody.
Yeah. Probably. You know how long this podcast been, bro?
How long?
We're at 56 minutes, bro.
Jeez.
Exactly already.
but
I like it right there. Honestly, that's a good podcast. All right. All right, it's been the Kev Jackson podcast right here talking about, I guess, like just communication. I guess it's a communication podcast.
hmm
Yeah, that's what I guess we call that shit. Communication podcast. More dating podcast. It's Valentine's. It's Valentine's. Yeah,
oh,
it show is
we could
February.
definitely get into the. I
It
would
show
love
is
talking about
February.
dating.
I was gonna yeah, we did definitely talk about some more about the dating and
I can
everything
always
else.
talk about relationships.
Relationships and everything. No, but especially when it gets more people
How
on here
men
and
ain't
everything
shit,
else.
women ain't shit.
You know, men ain't.
Everybody
I
ain't
mean,
shit.
we a lot of people ain't shit. Men ain't shit. Women ain't shit, man.
Your damn dog ain't shit.
Yeah, honestly.
Like
No, like we can go off. Also, I was about to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
like culture, like especially like when it comes to communication within cultures, because
Mhm.
especially culture, Black History Month is next month as well.
yeah,
The
yeah.
shortest month of the year. We all know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and do like, subscribe, comment on this podcast or whatever. Follow on Spotify, Apple Podcast, all that shit. You already know. And you want tag anything you want to tag on there?
Mm,
MRB, Diverse Sound.
nah, we
Anything
working on
else?
albums.
Anything else?
I've been trying to write some inspirational stuff, but my stuff has been coming out kind of low key toxic and.
No. Hey, hey,
Like, I've been trying.
let's
I've been
ride
trying
with
to
it.
inspire people, but like the
Me
writings
too.
that I've been coming up with been like kind of just they're not inspiring. Just like he kind of sort of toxic, but you know,
Yeah, you gotta roll it.
I'm getting it out rather than keeping it in. So
Hey, sometimes you just it's gotta be an outlet.
yeah, but we're working on the album right now. About five good songs in. Then working on some art. I might go to the store tomorrow, get art, little canvas. Working on a new piece, and I'm trying to drop some more videos, some GoPro videos. So it's a lot happening. Just stay tuned. I just gotta work around school, so it's just the struggle.
School.
Yeah, school,
It's not
working.
cool
Yeah,
at all. I'm
but
about
yeah,
to be because my start at middle of February actually.
yeah,
Yeah, so we all gonna be on that grind. We all grind. Listen, we all young. We all grinding.
grinding,
That's
going.
part of it. I told you the other day. I'm just looking. The girls I'm looking for doing the same shit I'm doing.
Right now,
Doing
yeah.
the same shit I'm doing in the house, not doing shit.
Yeah. It's a lot of us, man. It's a lot of
Exactly.
us. But
Exactly.
yeah.
All right. Well, it's been the Kid Jackson podcast. All right. Well, like yeah. All right. All right. Well, all that. All right. Until next time, y'all tune in.